Ambassador Zethkar adjusted his ceremonial robes as he observed the human delegation through the reinforced viewing portal of the Galactic Council's detention facility. 3 days ago, these creatures had been honored guests. Now they sat in containment cells, and the irony wasn't lost on him. The humans had arrived 18 months earlier aboard a ship that defied every known principle of engineering. Where galactic vessels followed precise mathematical curves and optimal efficiency ratios, the human craft looked like someone had welded together spare parts during a cosmic storm. Yet it had traveled further and faster than anything in the Council's fleet. Fascinating, Zethkar had told his aide when they first met Captain Sarah Chen and her crew. They've achieved interstellar travel through pure improvisation. The first year had been remarkable. Humans integrated seamlessly into galactic society, or so it seemed. They learned languages with startling speed, adapted to alien customs, and contributed innovations that left Council scientists speechless. Dr. Marcus Webb revolutionized their medical technology by combining treatments from 12 different worlds in ways that shouldn't work but somehow did. Engineer Rosa Martinez redesigned their quantum drives using what she called controlled instability. The Council's ruling species, the methodical Vorthak, the logic-driven Etherians, and the tradition-bound Keth Mori, initially celebrated humanity's arrival. Here was a species that could bridge their differences, they thought. A people who could adapt. They were catastrophically wrong about what adaptation meant to humans. The trouble began when the Council's Oversight Committee published the integration protocols. Every species that joined the galactic community followed them. Standardized education, regulated reproduction, controlled resource distribution, assigned career paths based on genetic optimization, order, stability, perfection. Captain Chen had laughed when presented with the documents, actually laughed, a sound that made the Vorthak's translator malfunction. You want us to... what? Stop being human? She'd asked, still chuckling. Assign our children careers at birth? Eliminate music that doesn't follow mathematical harmony? Stop cooking because flavor combinations should be nutritionally optimal? Administrator Quextal's 4 eyes had blinked in confusion. These protocols ensure peace and prosperity for all species. Chaos leads to conflict. Chaos leads to jazz, Dr. Webb had interjected. Chaos leads to curry. Chaos leads to love stories and terrible poetry and inventions that shouldn't exist, but save lives anyway. The meeting had ended with polite disagreement. The humans would consider the protocols. The Council would allow time for cultural adjustment. 6 months later, the human response arrived, a 1,000-page document written entirely in limericks that somehow contained serious diplomatic proposals, mathematical proofs, and what appeared to be a recipe for something called cosmic brownies. The Council was not amused. They mock our institutions, declared Prime Legislator Korthwin. They attend diplomatic sessions wearing funny hats. Their children learn 17 languages simultaneously while playing games that teach warfare tactics through competitive cooking. This is not adaptation. This is anarchy. The order came down. Humanity would comply with integration protocols within 30 days, or face containment and behavioral modification. Captain Chen's response was broadcast across every communication channel in the galaxy. We came in peace, offering friendship. You're trying to turn us into something we're not. That's where we draw the line. The containment lasted exactly 14 hours. Nobody could later explain how the humans escaped. The cells were biometrically locked, The guards were triple redundant AI systems, and the facility floated in hard vacuum. Yet security feeds showed the humans simply walking out. Dr. Webb jury-rigged something from medical supplies and a nutrition dispenser. Martinez convinced the AI guards that they were maintenance holograms. Chen somehow pickpocked a quantum keycard from a being who didn't have pockets, but the real shock came 6 hours after their escape, when every council member's personal communicator activated simultaneously. The transmission showed Chen standing in what appeared to be the council's own command center, despite it being located on a heavily defended world 3 systems away. Behind her, Martinez was casually rewiring something that looked suspiciously like the galaxy's primary communication hub. "The thing about chaos," Chen said, addressing the council with a smile that made Zethkar's scales itch, "is that it's not the opposite of order. It's the birthplace of adaptation. You've built a beautiful, stable civilization. Very impressive. But you forgot the most important rule of nature. Everything changes." The transmission cut to footage from across the galaxy. Human trade ships were broadcasting music that made Etherian meditation impossible and somehow improved their productivity by 30%. Human teachers were showing alien children how to build impossible machines that violated engineering principles and worked perfectly. Human chefs were creating dishes that combined incompatible biochemistries and became galactic sensations. "We're not trying to destroy your order," Chen continued. "We're offering you something you've forgotten, the ability to grow." Over the following weeks, the galaxy transformed. Vorthak engineers began experimenting with controlled imperfection. Etherian philosophers discovered logical intuition. Kethmori artists created respectful rebellion. The rigid protocols that had maintained peace for 1,000 years evolved, adapted, became something new. Zethkar found himself composing poetry that rhymed quantum mechanics with romantic dramatics. His superiors initially filed disciplinary reports, then asked for copies. The council's formal response, delivered 6 months later, was unprecedented. Humanity has been granted permanent autonomous status within the galactic community. Integration protocols have been revised to include provisions for constructive chaos. We have also established the Department of Impossible Solutions to be staffed primarily by humans and anyone else crazy enough to qualify. Chen's reply was characteristically human. "Thanks. Also, we're throwing a galaxy-wide music festival next month. You're all invited. Bring snacks." As Zethkar sealed the new treaty documents, he reflected on the profound lesson humanity had taught them. True, peace wasn't the absence of chaos, but the wisdom to dance with it. Outside his window, a human child was teaching a group of young Vorthak how to fly kites in a thunderstorm, their delighted shrieks echoing across the diplomatic district. The galaxy would never be the same. Thank the stars for that.